Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects every single one of us, our planet's climate. Have you ever felt like it's changing? And what can we actually do about it? Well, let's jump in and find out together. Okay, so first up, let's talk about this idea of a warming world. We need to get a handle on the big picture first. Have you ever just looked outside and thought, the weather just feels different lately? Maybe the summers seem way hotter than you remember, or the storms feel a bit bigger. Well, you're not imagining things. Scientists have been studying this, and they agree our planet's weather really is changing, and we're starting to see more of these, extreme events. So, what's causing all this change? Well, the science on this is incredibly clear. Over 97% of climate scientists, these are the experts who study this stuff every single day, they all agree that human actions are the main reason our planet is getting warmer. And let me tell you, in the world of science, getting that many experts to agree on something, that is a very, very big deal.
So that leads us to our next part, the problem. Let's dig into the cause and the effect. How exactly is all this happening?
The main reason, it turns out, is something we call fossil fuels. Think about coal, oil, and gas. For well over a century, we've been burning these things to power pretty much everything. Our cars, our homes, our factories. And when you burn them, they release these gases into the air that act kind of like a cozy blanket wrapped around the Earth. It traps the sun's heat and, well, makes the whole planet warmer.
Now, look, our planet's climate has always changed a little bit, but that usually happens super slowly over thousands of years. This timeline here shows that ever since we started using a lot of fossil fuels back in the 1800s, the world has warmed up much, much faster. A number like 1.5 degrees might not sound like a lot, right? But for our planet, it actually means really big changes are coming. And if you want to actually see what this warming looks like, well, a picture says it all. The photo on top is a huge glacier back in 1928. The one on the bottom, that's the exact same spot in 2004. Just look at how much ice has melted away. It's a really powerful, real-world example of how our world is changing.
It's not just about the glaciers, though. A warmer world means we get more of those really, really hot days, and our winters get shorter. It also means we're seeing more extreme weather, like huge storms and serious floods. And just like that picture showed, the ice at the very top and bottom of our world just keeps melting.
Okay, I know that all sounds like a pretty big problem, but here's the good news, there are things we can do about it. So now, let's talk about finding solutions, both big and small. So how do we actually make a change? It really happens in two ways. First, there are our own small actions, the things we choose to do every day. And then there are the big system changes that are made by governments and large companies. The most important thing to remember is that these two are connected. When lots of us start making small changes, it sends a powerful message that we also want and expect those big changes to happen. So, if we're talking about our own personal actions, you might be wondering, which ones make the biggest difference? Well, research is pretty clear on this one. It turns out that 3 actions really stand out. Living without a car has the single largest impact. Next up is flying less, especially those long flights. And the third biggest is shifting to a plant-based or vegan diet. These 3 things can really, really lower our personal impact on the planet. But look, not everybody can make those huge shifts overnight, and that is totally okay. There are still so many simple steps we can all take. Like in the kitchen, just trying to eat more plants and less meat can help. Wasting less food is a big one too. When you travel, choosing to walk or bike or take a bus when you can makes a difference. And at home, just being a little more mindful of our energy use is another fantastic step. Every single small change really does add up. All right, and that brings us to our final section, your turn to reflect. Let's take a moment to think about what all of this means for us. So, I'm going to leave you with a couple of questions to think about. First, what is just one small change that you think you could try? And second, how can we all work together to ask for those bigger changes that our planet really needs? The conversation definitely doesn't end here. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.